What don't you want to see in Star Wars Resistance? We know very little about this new Star Wars animation show, but in this video, I share what I don't want to see in this series. But first up, I want to say I'm Mike, and welcome you back to Force Within TV, where we love the anticipation and speculation that leads up to Star Wars releases just like Star Wars Resistance. So join us by subscribing and answering the question of the day at the end of the video. But back to that list. I'm going to share my thoughts on what I don't want to see in Resistance, but to keep the video positive, I'm going to be sure to share what I'd like to see as an alternative. So number one, I don't want to see Kazuto being a Force user. At this point in the timeline, really the only Jedi around should be Luke Skywalker, and I think if Kazuto is a Force user, or he's Force sensitive rather, then that's going to take away from the story of Rey and Luke Skywalker. I would, however, love to see him discover a group of Force users, maybe some sort of wise shaman that is able to help him through his difficult search for the First Order, and help him, even though he won't be Force sensitive, help him tune into the Force, like Chirrut Îmwe has shown us anyone can do, whether they're Force sensitive or not. He might find these people on a planet strong with the Force, and then see it be destroyed by the First Order. That would make an interesting arc for the first season. And it'd also really be interesting to just see the Force through Kazuto's eyes and explore how non-Force sensitive people can still have a Force connection. I think that would make for a really interesting animation series. We wouldn't have to go the route of the Jedi like Kanan and Ezra in Star Wars Rebels, but it would still keep me really interested and teach us more about the Force. But let's move on to number two. What I don't want to see in Star Wars Resistance, and that is, I don't want to see Snoke. It would be interesting to hear about maybe legends of Snoke and how he came to power in the First Order, how he found them, and all of that backstory. But I think he's far too powerful to be spied on by Kazuto Xiono. Besides, what I really want is a full-on Snoke novel or even movie, which we might get on the streaming service. At the end of the day, I just don't want Snoke to seem any less powerful than he was in The Last Jedi, where he really seemed extremely powerful with the Force. Number three, I don't want to see too much First Order. I've speculated in the past that in Star Wars Resistance, we may see behind the scenes what's happening in the First Order, and not just follow Kazuto Xiono on his adventures. If you recall, Rebels did this. They often showed us Imperials like Kallus and what was happening to him, but honestly, I'd like to see less of that and more of our main character, Kazuto Xiono. Number four, I don't want to see unrealistic piloting by Kazuto Xiono. He doesn't need to be another amazing pilot like Poe or Hera. It's okay if he's an average pilot. Maybe his strength is in modifying his starfighter. That's what allows him to evade pirates in the unknown region or First Order TIE fighters. It'd just be great for him to separate himself from Hera, Poe, Han Solo, all these great pilots that we already have in Star Wars in some other way. Number five, I don't want to see new characters created when other canon or Legends characters could have been used. If the story calls for a smuggler, why not bring Dash Rendar back into canon? If the show calls for a pirate, why not use Vizago or Hondo? Don't get me wrong, I want new characters too. I just want Dave Filoni to continue to bring Legends characters back into the fold. Well, that's it for my top 5. Thank you for watching, and remember to use the Force within you to make the Star Wars community a better place. Share your speculation and theories and support those who do the same. And you can start by sharing your thoughts on today's question of the day. What don't you want to see in Star Wars Resistance? Let me know in the comments below, and may the Force be with you.